Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely World of Raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, you guys, we're going to be getting our build on, but we're not going to do a lot of it. We're going to be doing a mixture of getting our build on, along with doing some landscaping around my signature fantasy themed house, which I do plan on creating a Minecraft tutorial of, so that way you guys can learn how to build it in your own single player world, or impress your fellow server mates for those of you who are playing on a server. But like I said, we are going to be getting our build on and doing some landscaping around the place. And real quick, before I go any farther, I'd like to introduce you all to my 4 new friends. I'm not entirely sure what I am going to name them yet, but once I acquire 4 individual name tags, I will then give them each a name. So if you have any ideas as to what we can name them, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Now, with that being said, I want to go ahead and establish a pathway that, oops, I don't have my shovel on me. Let's just go ahead inside here real quick. I gotta say, using a button, oh, that's right, I have diamond tools, and I think I also made a set of diamond armor, but I'll get to that later on in this episode. But what I wanted, I think having a button here right next to the door and being able to push that is much more convenient than having a pressure plate on either side of the door, or having to just manually open it and then turn around and close it, because I always get, I don't know if you guys do this or not, but for me at least, I like to actually open the door in Minecraft where the handle is at, pretend I'm opening a door in real life, walk in, and then turn around. But I want to be mindful as to which way I turn, so that way it's like, okay, I opened the door pulling it to the left, so when I go through it I should turn to the right, so then I can, you know, close it and then go on my way. But with that out of the way now, what I want to do is I want to establish a little pathway that goes outwards like this, and if we have to, we will extend the hillside something like this. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to bring it around to the brim that we have right here. Actually, you know what, as I look around, that's probably not a bad idea, because then that gives us a little more space to work with. So, okay, there it is. We have some soil blocks. We actually have a fair amount of soil blocks, but those were not my soil blocks, those were saplings. So what I'm actually going to do, and I'm not going to do this on camera, I'll spare you all of this, but I just want to give you guys an outline to show what I'm going to be following. But I'm going to do something like this when it comes to extending the hillside all the way to the brim, and then we'll have our pathway curve something like this, because what I want to create in the center of this area is just a chill little area where we can come to and hang out with our 4 canine companions, or if we just want to watch the sunset, then we can, or if we just want to, you know, if the weather permits it and we want to just casually lay about out in the sun or on a bench even, who knows, then we can go ahead and do so. But let me just go ahead and begin to do some landscaping and finish gathering the resources that I'm going to need for this project, and I'll see you guys in a moment. So the pathway has been established, and one of the 3 dark oak trees has been planted as well, but I'm not entirely sure if I like, okay, that was weird. I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with how this pathway not only comes up to here, but it also extends out all the way up to here as well. I had to do a little bit of landscaping as well in terms of extending this hillside and then trying to create a symmetrical look from this perspective of it. But I think what I may do is, I think I'm just going to remove this stone that we have that leads up to here, and I'm only going to keep the pathway up to this point. Hello there, dark oak tree. Ooh, you're actually a rather tall dark oak tree. I know dark oak trees come in a limited ways, as in like they grow, and you can either get a tall dark oak tree such as this one, or you can get a nice little one like this, and I would prefer to have a dark oak oak tree grow that resembles something like this. So I guess I'm gonna have to chop that down, because if I do get a dark oak tree that looks like this, then I'll be able to shape it up with some shears and an axe much easier than I would if I had something like this. Through the power of YouTube cards, one will be appearing at the top right corner of your screen right now that will take you to a Minecraft video that I had created oh so long ago, where I show you a thing or two about how to customize dark oak trees for those of you who are wanting to learn how to do such a thing. And when I customize the dark oak tree in this video, I do my best to try and keep the look of it being a dark oak tree, but alas, since we are shaping it up with shears and an axe, it's gonna look just a little bit different, but in a cool way at least. So now that it's getting to be dusk, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna fill up that space over there with some soil blocks, wait for it to turn into grass, and then continue to plant a few more greeneries around the pathway, because I want this to look lively. I want people to, if they come by and visit and we hang out on the balcony at least, then I want them to look onto the village and boy, that is a beautiful sunset. Let's just enter theater mode to give ourselves a clean screen without having anything in the GUI obstruct our view of it. But like what I was saying, if I have some company over and we're chilling out on the balcony here, I want us to be able to just look onto the village and see not only the transformed village once it's completed, but I also want them to just be able to look down, look around, and see that we really did go to town with this transformation job that we're doing here at the village. But before I go ahead and lay my head to rest to make it the day, the one thing I want to share with you all is that I now have diamond tools, and I think somewhere in this village I have a full set of diamond armor, and that is because over the past weekend I went ahead and did some mining, and boy, let me just go ahead and lay my head to rest, make it the day, and I'll bring it back when we're down in my mines, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Boy. While we wait for the soil blocks that were placed down at the surface level turn into grass blocks, let's just go ahead and walk around the mines, because these are all the ores that have yet to be excavated. Now, some of you may be noticing that there's a fair amount of diamond ores, and that is because when I was customizing this world, keeping in mind that I was going to be going from project to project, not at a fast pace, but at a steady pace that works for me at least, one where I can get my build on and not have to worry about burning out or losing motivation and such. But I wanted to have the proper resources, tools, equipment, etc. at the ready to be used. And one thing that I thought that I would need is diamonds. So when I was customizing this world in the customized feature that is in the beginning menus when you're creating a new world, I just upped the diamond ore spawn size, and I think I may have upped it a little too much, because I will admit this appears to be more diamonds than I'm going to need, at least for quite a while. But there at least is a regular amount. It appears that there is a regular amount of coal ore, which isn't so bad considering I'm going through coal left or right. And oh, see, right down there we even have some diamond ores that are just waiting to be mined up and used. Oh, and we even have some diamond ore right here along with some gold. So I was gonna say I want you all to take a guess as to how many ores there are in total of each, whether it be the coal ores, iron, gold, diamond, redstone, lapis. Can I get a lapis? Yep, there's lapis over there. But it just occurred to me that I do not have silk touch on this pickaxe, so I'm not going to be able to... Well, I suppose I could write it down as to how many diamond ores I mine, but I don't want to have to keep track that way. I'd rather just have silk touch and have it right there in front of me. So scratch that idea, peeps, even though I didn't even offer it to you all. But I think once I'm done excavating the minerals that we have here, the soil blocks that we place down up top will have completely turned into grass plots, and then from there we can continue to do some landscaping and then get our build on. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, so in the previous segment I said something along the lines of having one too many diamonds. Well, in case you're wondering if that's true or how true that is, let me just give you guys a visual representation. After mining for about, I guess you could say 15-20 minutes now, this is what I've managed to gather. And if you just subtract one, well actually no, if you add one iron ore, then that's the actual total amount of iron ore that I excavated. I had 2 iron ingots on me, and I had to smelt just one, so then I could make a brand new iron pickaxe to finish my mining session. But look at this, guys. 1 stack of diamonds, 2 stacks of diamonds, half a stack of diamonds. I don't know. As I was saying that in my head, I started to imagine that that Dracula character from Sesame Street, I think it's from, where he goes 1, 2, 3. I'm not entirely sure where that's from, but just look at this. This is like, and all of those diamonds came from this one area. Granted, the torches are going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 torches that are spread out in a total of 5, and it's on the 5th block spaces where I placed it down. So 5 times 9, someone do the math and let me know in the comment section. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 times 7, so whatever 5 times 9 equals by 5 times 7 equals, that is the amount of space that I did with my mining session, except for this part right here. Apparently I forgot to bring it back by another 5 blocks, but I guess for that, anywho you guys, we're getting distracted now. Let me go ahead and gather up my resources that I just excavated, and I'll see you guys when we're topside and ready to get on with the episode. Dogs are often referred to as man's best friend, and for a number of reasons. But I think for us, we'll say they're our best friends because they can certainly help us with getting our build on. And I say this because they've done a splendid job in doing some landscape work around our signature fantasy styled house. But let me just go ahead and swap their perspective by 180 degrees, and boom! Take a look as to what our little canine companions have done. They've taken oak saplings and they've just planted them around the area and patiently waited for them to grow into a big, tall, strong tree without the help of any bone meal. And then once the trees had grown fully, they then took a pair of shears and shaped it out so that they could look just a little more beautiful than they already did. And to help apply some detail to something as simple as an oak tree, they even went ahead and took oak logs, spruce slabs, and spruce stairs and just applied it to the tree so that it looks like it has branches, much like one that you would see in real life. But they also took some top quality player heads that look like apples in this particular case and just sprinkled them within the tree, again just to apply some minor detail. I think you guys did a very splendid job with doing this, and thank you for helping me with doing some work in this episode, you guys. Thank you very much. But they also went ahead and took some dark oak leaves and just laid them down so that they can act as bushes, and they even took other types of top quality player heads, ones that resemble watermelon, and just scattered them around as well. And I think there's even one over here. Yep, here it is. There's even one that looks like a potted flower plant, or flower plant in a pot. I'm not entirely sure how to word that. As I record this last segment for this episode, I'm starting to feel a little under the weather, and that's because I've been taking care of my dad for the past few days in real life, who is sick with the flu. And hopefully I don't get the flu. Maybe I'll get something as minor as the cold, but I definitely am starting to feel a little under the weather in terms of having a sore throat, and I don't want to say feeling lightheaded, but I'm feeling congested maybe. and sometimes I'll feel just a little more tired than I usually would as the day progresses. But as we crouch walk around here, I hope this helps just immerses you into the idea that this is a very lifelike area. It's not just a fantasy themed village, or actually I should say it's not just another net gen village that is being transformed into a fantasy themed village, but there's also a lot of life here outside of just taking saplings and growing trees out of them. But before we go ahead and wrap things up, I want to at least just apologize to you all for not producing as much content as I usually do. One reason that this is because, well, I've been fairly busy with in real life stuff lately in regards to, like, last week taking my dog to the vet and then having to take care of her after the visit to the vet and finding out she has a benign tumor, and then also taking my cat Tangerine to the vet most recently, and then dealing with my dad being sick, having to take care of him, and then dealing with other things in real life. So I haven't had that much time to sit down and record the content that I want to, but rest assured, I don't want to give an exact time frame or an estimated time as to when I'll be able to get back into the swing of things, but rest assured, peeps, content will be coming back to the channel on a regular schedule in due time. Just bear with me, and hopefully if I'm not getting sick, then that will happen much sooner. But that's going to do it for this episode, you guys. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed it, then leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, then I invite you to check out the rest of it. But don't forget to turn on notifications when subscribing. That way you will then be notified when future Minecraft and other gameplay content is uploaded by yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I'd like to wish you all a happy day, and peace out.